Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. Today, a single, official-looking update almost crashes Alex's delivery schedule. And here's the hook. When someone can change one detail and ruin everything, how do you protect yourself? And who is really behind it? If you enjoy the story, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next videos. Let's begin. Tuna's days with Alex still moved fast, but she was starting to understand the rhythm. Not the kind of rhythm you dance to, more like the rhythm of engines, calls, and people waiting for answers. If she missed one number, a whole chain could slip. Alex picked her up early and told her they'd be on the move more than usual. A few buyers wanted updated quantities. One delivery needed tighter confirmation, and the wood slicing workshop still needed a clear plan to raise output. Tuna nodded, notebook ready, keeping her own rules simple. Listen, confirm, repeat the key numbers, write them down. They reached the yard while it was still cool. Workers were already moving. Alex walked straight to a supervisor, asked 3 short questions, then pointed at 2 people and gave them tasks for the morning. Tuna stayed close, not blocking anyone, but close enough to catch every instruction. When Alex said, "Update me before lunch," she wrote the name, the request, and the time. The calls started early. Buyers didn't want long explanations. They wanted yes or no, and they wanted timing. Tuna had learned that quickly, so when one buyer asked if the next batch could be increased, she didn't promise. She asked how many units they wanted, what date they needed it, and whether the quality requirement was the same as last time. She repeated the number back slowly, then said she'd confirm and call again within the hour. Alex liked that style because it prevented chaos later. He could keep walking, checking sites, and making decisions without stopping to fix misunderstandings. Lon stayed nearby for the first stretch and gave Tuna small, practical tips. When they talk too much, Lon said quietly, pull them back to 3 things: quantity, date, condition. Everything else is noise. Mai, meanwhile, played 2 versions of herself. In front of workers and staff, Mai smiled, praised Tuna's progress, and acted supportive. She offered water. She said things like, "She's getting faster every day, loud enough for others to hear." From the outside, it looked like teamwork. But when Alex walked away to check equipment and the yard noise covered their voices, Mai drifted closer and lowered her tone. "Don't get comfortable," she said softly. "People here remember mistakes." Tuna didn't answer. She didn't glare. She just kept working. She knew exactly what Mai wanted: a reaction, a crack, something she could point at later. Tuna refused to give it. By mid-morning, Alex moved them to the wood slicing workshop. The place was loud, and the team looked tense but focused. They wanted higher output soon. Alex didn't promise miracles. He asked what was blocking them: space, machines, or the way the flow was arranged. Then he walked the line once, watched how wood moved from step to step, and made a simple change. Test a new shift pattern and reorganize stacking so cutting wouldn't jam behind slow loading. Tuna wrote it down as plain actions: who changes what, who reports back, when to review, not fancy paperwork, just clear tracking so nothing disappeared in the noise. While Alex spoke with the supervisor, Tuna handled 2 calls back to back. One buyer wanted an updated schedule. Another wanted confirmation that quantities would be complete. Tuna stayed calm, repeated numbers, and avoided promising anything Alex hadn't approved. She ended both calls with a follow-up time. Mai watched quietly. Then she offered help again in the public-friendly way, smiling, acting supportive, handing Tuna a small note like a favor, a buyer name, a request, a timing. "Call them and confirm," Mai said sweetly. Tuna glanced at the note and felt a small warning inside her. One detail didn't match what she remembered hearing earlier that week. Not wildly different, just slightly off. A time, a pickup point, something that could be blamed on mishearing. Tu Na didn't confront Mai. She didn't accuse her. She did the safest thing. She called the buyer, introduced herself clearly, and asked them to repeat their request from the beginning. Quantity, date, pickup location. Then she repeated it back and got a clean confirmation. She wrote the final details in her notebook and set Mai's note aside without making a show of it. The day rolled on with movement and calls. Alex shifted between sites and people. Tu Na stayed beside him, keeping his day from turning into a blur. Lan checked on her once and gave a small nod that said, "You're doing fine. Keep going." Then the real trap landed. Near midday, a key buyer called with a sharp, irritated tone. They said the schedule Tu Na confirmed didn't match what they had agreed on, and their team was already coordinating trucks based on the new information. If this wasn't fixed quickly, the whole delivery plan would collapse into wasted time and blame. Tu Na felt the pressure immediately. This wasn't a small misunderstanding. This was the kind of confusion that makes a buyer lose trust fast. Alex took the phone for a moment, listened, then handed it back to Tu Na. He didn't yell, but his face tightened. When he looked at her, there was hesitation in his eyes. Just a second, but Tu Na saw it. He asked, controlled and direct, "Are you sure you confirmed the right details?" It wasn't cruel. It was a leader facing risk, but it still hit hard. Because Tu Na understood what sat under that question. If she wasn't suited for this work, the cost would be big. Tu Na didn't defend herself emotionally. She didn't say, "You don't trust me." She didn't blame anyone. She said calmly, "Give me a few minutes. I'll rebuild it." Alex nodded once, but he still looked unsure. He stepped away and started asking a supervisor about the current load plan, clearly preparing for damage control if Tu Na had truly made a mistake. Tu Na opened her notebook and worked like she was solving a problem, not arguing a case. First, she rebuilt the timeline. When the buyer first called, what they requested, what she repeated back, what follow-up time she promised. Then she found the exact line where she had written the buyer's numbers and the date. Her writing was clean, readable, not rushed. That mattered. If she couldn't prove it clearly, she'd lose. Second, she checked what happened after that call. If anything changed later, it would show somewhere in the sequence. She found a key detail. There had been mention of a small update arriving later through another channel. The buyer hadn't treated it as important at the time, but now they were acting like the update was the real plan. Tu Na didn't jump to conclusions. She went straight to proof. She called the buyer back immediately, calm and polite. She said she wanted to confirm the original agreement step by step, so both sides were aligned. Then she asked the buyer to repeat the exact details they originally gave her: quantity, date, pickup point. Tu Na repeated each item back and asked for confirmation on every line. The buyer hesitated. Their irritation softened into uncertainty. And when Tu Na pressed gently, still respectful, still steady, the buyer admitted something that changed the shape of everything. They had received a second update later that altered one key detail, and their team was now following that update instead of the original confirmation. Tu Na wrote it down carefully, then asked one final question in the same calm voice, holding the line steady. "Who sent that update?" she asked. "And what time did you receive it?" Alex stood nearby, listening closely now. Still tense, but no longer sure the mistake was hers. Tu Na kept her eyes on her notebook and the call, focused on facts, building a clean bridge from confusion back to truth. Tu Na kept her voice steady on the call. "What time did you get that update?" she asked. Late last night, the buyer said. It was a message, looked official. Tuna didn't argue. She didn't say it was impossible. She just asked for the one thing that could clear the mess fast. "Can you forward that message to me?" she said. "I want to compare it with what we confirmed." A moment later, her phone buzzed. Tuna didn't make a show of it. She turned the screen toward Alex so he could see it too. The message was short and confident. It changed one key detail, small enough to look normal, big enough to wreck timing, trucks, and trust. Alex's face tightened. He looked at Tuna and kept his voice controlled. "Show me what you told them." Tuna opened her notebook right away. No excuses, no long speech. She pointed to the line with the buyer's name and read it out clearly. The quantity, the date, the pickup point. Then she showed the next line where she wrote, "Confirmed," right after she repeated everything back on the phone. Her writing was clean and easy to read. There was no messy scribble that could be argued. Alex still didn't relax. He needed one more thing, a live confirmation. Tuna called the buyer again and put it on speaker. She kept it simple. "I'm going to repeat what we confirmed earlier," she said. "Please tell me if this matches what you originally requested from me." She repeated the 3 items again, one by one. Quantity, date, pickup point, short and clear. The buyer paused, then answered, less irritated now. "Yes, that's what we first agreed." "So, the later message is the change," Tuna said calmly. "Not my confirmation." The buyer made a frustrated sound. "Then who sent that message?" Tuna didn't jump into accusations. She stayed practical. "Right now, we just need one plan," she said. "We follow the original confirmation, unless you change it after speaking to Alex." Alex stepped in for one firm sentence so the buyer understood the authority line. "We follow the original confirmation," he said. "Any changes go through me directly." The buyer agreed quickly. They didn't want drama. They wanted certainty. The call ended. Alex exhaled once. His tone shifted. Not warm, not emotional, just clear. "Okay," he said. "You didn't mess that up." Tuna nodded and moved on. She didn't celebrate. She went straight back to tracking what needed to be fixed next because the day was still running. Alex looked again at the forwarded update. Late last night, clean wording, sent to a key buyer. It didn't look like a normal mistake. He didn't say anything about my. He didn't even look at her. His attention turned outward, toward whoever had been pushing pressure through business channels lately. He called a supervisor over and gave 2 simple instructions. Tighten the contact chain and stop random updates from going out. Then he looked at Tuna. "From now on, updates only go through me or Lon," he said. "You record everything and confirm details, but changes come through one line." Tuna agreed. That structure made her job safer. Less guessing, less chance to be blamed. They didn't stay in one spot. Alex moved them to the next site because he still had problems to solve in the real world, not just on the phone. They stopped at the wood slicing workshop again. Alex asked the supervisor for a quick update on the new flow. Output wasn't magically higher yet, but the jam points were clearer. And workers were adjusting faster than before. Alex walked the line once, pointed out one bottleneck near stacking, and told them to shift the layout slightly so loading wouldn't slow cutting. He set a check-in time for the next morning and moved on. Tuna wrote it down in short bullet points. Who changes what? Who reports back? When to review? No heavy paperwork, just clean tracking so Alex wouldn't have to remember everything in his head. Next, they moved to the cassava powder area. The supervisor there didn't look relaxed. Alex didn't scold him. He asked practical questions. What step was unstable, what the test results looked like, and what could be controlled immediately. The supervisor explained. Alex listened, then made a clear decision. Don't rush large output until quality stays consistent. Tighten checks, run a smaller test, and report results before any bigger push. Tuna recorded it the same way. The checks, the person responsible, the deadline, what Alex needed to see. While Alex spoke with the supervisor, calls kept coming. That was normal now. Buyers wanted updates. Some asked for photos. Some asked for stronger commitments on delivery days. Tuna handled the calls with the same simple method every time. She asked what they needed. She repeated numbers back. She avoided promising anything Alex hadn't approved. If they pushed for a guarantee she couldn't give, she didn't argue. She said she would confirm and call back. Then she wrote it down and did exactly that. Lan checked in once and gave a small nod, like she approved the way Tuna was keeping things clean. Lan didn't say much. She didn't need to. The work showed it. Mai stayed nearby through the afternoon, smooth and careful. In public, she acted supportive again, offering water, making friendly comments, saying Tuna handled the call well. She smiled like she was proud. She didn't show anger. If anything, she looked too calm, like she was watching and adjusting. Tuna didn't engage with Mai more than necessary. She kept her answers polite and short. She focused on work. After the earlier incident, Alex handled the key buyer differently too. He made one short follow-up call later in the afternoon, not to argue, not to accuse, just to stabilize trust. He thanked them for forwarding the update message and asked them to treat any future changes as valid only if they came through a direct call with him. The buyer agreed. The tone was calmer now. What could have turned into blame was now a warning Alex could use to tighten control. As the day went on, Alex's doubt about Tuna didn't show up again. He stopped questioning whether she fit the job. She had proven something important. When trouble hit, she didn't panic, she didn't fight, and she didn't turn it into a noisy scene. She rebuilt the facts, line by line, and protected the work. Near late afternoon, the urgent pressure eased a little. Alex gathered quick updates from supervisors and set tomorrow's priorities. Tuna organized her notes into a clean list. Must do tomorrow, buyers to call back, and items that needed Alex's final decision. She handed him the key points without extra talk. Alex scanned them, nodded, and kept the page. Mai came over with her public smile again, because workers were still nearby. "Good job today," she said sweetly. Tuna answered politely, keeping it neutral. "Thank you." When the yard began to empty, Alex motioned for Tuna to follow him to the car. The drive was quiet. Alex looked tired, but his mind was working. Before Tuna got out at home, Alex finally said what today pushed to the surface. "That wasn't a normal mix-up," he said. "Someone is pushing from the outside. Min has been circling for a while. Today feels like his style." Tuna didn't add guesses. She kept it simple. "If it happens again, I'll track it the same way," she said. Alex nodded once. "Do that." Then he drove away, and Tuna walked inside, tired but steady, ending the day not with arguments, but with proof that she could hold her ground in Alex's world.
Một khách hàng quan trọng cho rằng Tử Na đã xác nhận sai lịch trình và Alex thoáng nghi ngờ liệu cô ấy có phù hợp với công việc này hay không. Tử Na giữ bình tĩnh và xin vài phút để xem xét lại sự việc. Cô kiểm tra sổ tay, gọi lại cho khách hàng qua loa ngoài và xác nhận lại thỏa thuận ban đầu từng dòng một về số lượng, ngày tháng để nhận hàng. Khách hàng thừa nhận họ đã nhận được một tin nhắn có vẻ chính thức ngay sau đó, trong đó thay đổi một chi tiết quan trọng. Khách hàng chuyển tiếp tin nhắn và Tử Na chứng minh rằng xác nhận của cô là chính xác. Alex can thiệp để khóa đường dây phê duyệt. Những thay đổi trong tương lai phải được thông qua trực tiếp bởi anh ta. Sau đó Alex thắt chặt chuỗi liên lạc, thiết lập các quy tắc cập nhật rõ ràng hơn và tiếp tục xử lý các vấn đề tại trang web, trong khi Tử Na sắp xếp các cuộc gọi, số lượng và thời hạn. Đến cuối ngày, sự nghi ngờ của Alex chuyển sang Minh, tin rằng có một thế lực bên ngoài đang gây ra sự nhầm lẫn trong các kênh kinh doanh.